Samurai Monogatari, where honor never dies. Only the names fade. Step into the silent world of the warrior. Samurai Monogatari is a faceless storytelling channel that brings Japan's forgotten warriors back to life, one tale at a time. Through haunting visuals, cinematic sound, and calm narration, we explore real historical accounts, mysterious legends, and lesser-known stories of samurai who lived, fought, and fell by the blade. Each episode reveals a different tale. Duels fought without swords, betrayals that shaped empires, ghosts of warriors who never rested. Codes of honor broken and upheld perfect for lovers of Japanese history, mythology, and dark, poetic storytelling. Subscribe and listen closely, because some legends refuse to die. Saigo Tanomo, the loyal retainer of Aizu. In the twilight years of the samurai, as Japan raced toward modernity, one man stood defiant, not for power, but for principle. He was not the flashiest swordsman, nor the most famous name, but his loyalty carved his place in the annals of Bushido. This is the story of Saigo Tanomo, the loyal retainer of Aizu. Origins of a retainer. Saigo Tanomo was born in 1830 in Aizu Domain, a powerful and disciplined region in the Tohoku region of northern Japan. Aizu was no ordinary domain. It was fiercely loyal to the Tokugawa shogunate. Its warriors were known for their discipline, martial training, and stoic resolve. And Tanomo, he was the spiritual embodiment of that ethos. Educated in Confucian philosophy, Tanomo rose through the ranks, not just with his sword, but with his mind. By his early 30s, he was named chief counselor, a top advisor to the lord of Aizu, Matsudaira Katamori. But his wisdom would often go unheard. A voice of warning. In 1862, Matsudaira Katamori was appointed Kyoto Shugoshoku, military governor of Kyoto. It was a dangerous post in a volatile time. The Bakumatsu period was reaching its boiling point. Pro-imperial loyalists clashed with shogunate supporters. Assassins roamed the alleys, and Kyoto had become a battlefield in all but name. Saigo Tanomo warned his lord, "This is a nest of vipers. You walk into the flames." But Katamori, bound by duty to the Tokugawa, accepted. Tanomo resigned in protest, perhaps one of the only times in samurai history where resignation was an act of loyalty. The fall of the shogunate. By 1868, war erupted. The Meiji Restoration began with the Boshin War, pitting imperial forces against those still loyal to the Tokugawa regime, and once again, the Aizu Domain stood firm with the old order. Matsudaira Katamori returned from Kyoto, disgraced but unwavering. And Saigo Tanomo, he was reinstated as senior advisor. But what followed was catastrophic. The Battle of Aizu was brutal. Imperial forces surrounded the domain. Samurai resisted with every breath. Young boys, the Byakkotai, even took their own lives on a hillside, believing the castle had fallen. Inside the keep, Saigo Tanomo remained calm, guiding strategy, morale, and honor. But he could not prevent defeat. The tragedy of defeat. As surrender became inevitable, tragedy struck Saigo personally. Before the castle fell, his wife and daughters committed seppuku, ritual suicide to avoid dishonor. Their deaths were not for glory. They were for loyalty, echoes of a vanishing code. Saigo survived the siege, but survival came with pain. He was imprisoned, humiliated. The world he had dedicated his life to was gone. A teacher in the new era. But Saigo Tanomo did not fade into silence. After his release, he chose a new path, teaching. He joined the staff of the Kokushikan, one of Japan's emerging modern schools, and helped mentor the next generation. He also played a role in preserving classical martial arts and Confucian ideals, shaping the moral spine of Meiji Japan. Among his students, a young man named Takeda Sokaku, the future founder of Daito Ryu Aiki Jujutsu, the martial tradition that would influence Aikido. Through his teachings, Saigo Tanomo's legacy outlived the blade. Closing. Saigo Tanomo never led an army. He never wore the title of shogun, but he embodied the soul of a samurai. He stood by his lord. He warned with wisdom. He suffered with dignity. And he rose again, not with vengeance, but with knowledge. In a time of collapse, he chose loyalty over survival and service over silence. This was the last true retainer of Aizu. This was Saigo Tanomo. Outro. If this story moved you, consider subscribing to Samurai Monogatari, where history is more than battles. It's about honor, loss, and quiet resolve. Until next time, walk the warrior's path.